Lashley went with someone who he's already defeated, someone who he thought he can come in here.
And here we go. Lashley was looking for a quick spear.
Yep.
Rolled through here by Eddie Edwards, and the champion kicks out at 2. Lashley was in a war Sunday against EC3 for the World Championship. 4 spears, and Lashley retained his title. Now defending it here, Thursday night, Impact on top. Back elbow by the champion.
Unbeknownst to Lashley, he's going to be in a war here.
Boy! Overhead. What a throw from Lashley.
Eddie nearly landed on his head.
That would end the match.
Yeah.
World Championship matches don't come often. Eddie Edwards knows that, knows a huge opportunity is at stake here. Cross faces by Lashley.
Yo, look at Lashley here, large charge in control. In his mind, like he said, he chose the easiest opponent in the mix-up there.
Again, Lashley was in such a brutal battle this past Sunday against EC3 for the World Championship. Now defending his title, going to work on Eddie Edwards.
Not a knock on Eddie Edwards, but when you look at the stage, all of the opponents that Lashley didn't want another boost. He didn't want a rematch with EC3, so he said he's going to pick what he feels is the easiest. Let's see if it be that with Eddie Edwards.
In Lashley's mind, it was the lesser of 3 evils. Let's go one-on-one with Eddie Edwards. Let's defend the championship against Eddie here. Oh, and Lashley goes right to the midsection, looking to soften up Eddie Edwards for a potential spear. Smile on the face of the confident champion.
Absolutely, Lashley again having his way right now with Eddie Edwards, showing his strength, showing his power, showing his dominance with this delayed standing vertical suplex.
Beautiful suplex there by Lashley, driving Eddie Edwards into the canvas cover, and a kick out at 2 by the challenger.
Lashley again, he's looking now, he's showing himself like what's going on. But he's still smiling, he's still having fun.
Almost cocky at this point, it looks like, from Lashley. Perhaps overconfident against Eddie Edwards. We've seen this overconfidence, though, in the past from Lashley. We saw it Sunday. Yeah, he still demolishes and takes people out.
And he still walks out with the World Heavyweight title. Will that be the same here tonight?
Lashley in control here of Eddie Edwards. If Eddie had any momentum, it was quickly taken away by Lashley, and now a back elbow there by the challenger, trying to get back into this matchup. There's a boot, trying to create separation. We talked Sunday how Eddie Edwards is so good in space and in separation. And Lashley catches and power bombs Eddie Edwards.
Huge power bomb by Lashley. Dominating power bomb. Look at Eddie, he seems to be broken in half.
It was a flurry of offense from Eddie Edwards, but it was quelled quickly by the champion, and a kick out there by Eddie Edwards. Just have to wonder at this point if Eddie is just prolonging the inevitable. Lashley proved Sunday just how devastating and destructive he can be.
What Eddie needs to do is to create some separation, as you said, because we know that in the past, Eddie Edwards has done well against Lashley.
Impact Zone solidly behind Eddie Edwards. That's one thing that Eddie has going for him here off the ropes, and Lashley connects with an elbow of his own.
He's going to take that one move, that one surprise move, just to get that momentum back in his corner, because we know if Eddie can get the moving and running those ropes and jumping from the ropes, we know we're going to see some high-octane offense.
Lashley's so quick, though, lightning quick, and even if Eddie Edwards does get that space and separation, he's mocking Eddie Edwards right now. The light little taps to the face there. Lashley's having fun at this point. This is where he's the most dangerous. And Eddie Edwards is now saying, come on. Wow, what a shot by Eddie.
Big smack to the face.
May have just upset and angered Lashley. Eddie Edwards, here we go. Lashley looked enraged. Get another shot there by Eddie.
He caught him again.
Rocking the champion. It's the same area of the face that we talked about Sunday with what EC3 was doing, trying to swell up the eyes, trying to go after the world champion. And now Eddie Edwards looking for a top rope. He got him!
He connected with it!
Go for the cover!
Now's his time! Now's the time for Eddie to turn up the heat on Lashley!
Remember, Eddie Edwards was in a battle Sunday as well. Eddie's trying to get back to his feet here, trying to get back to a vertical base. Lashley up first, though. And here comes the challenger quickly in hot pursuit. Edwards has the space that he wanted, has the separation that he wanted. Can he keep it up here?
Eddie's finally moving. He's quickening the pace. It works to his favor.
And Eddie got stopped there by Lashley.
Every time Eddie gets going, Lashley finds a way to stop him.
Eddie's signature maneuver is the Boston Knee Party. He sets it up with another knee, the Shining Wizard, and I think that's what he was looking for moments ago. But Lashley one step ahead of Eddie Edwards in a power slam.
Nearly drove him through the mat.
A ring-rattling power slam may have taken the last bit of life out of Eddie Edwards here in this one-on-one matchup.
And now Lashley looks to be primed to deliver that devastating spear.
Eddie Edwards doesn't know that it's coming, and now Eddie Edwards ducks down. There goes Lashley. There goes the world champion.
And there goes Eddie Edwards looking for a shot. Caffeine. He connects.
Eddie Edwards connects on the world champion. Eddie back into the ring, perhaps looking to deliver another big shot to Lashley.
That's a primal howl. The scream.
Eddie building up momentum here. And again connects! Lashley may be out on his feet.
Gotta be kidding. Is Eddie looking for trifecta?
Here comes Eddie Edwards looking to fly. We're gonna take out Lashley this time the world champion moved.
Crash and burn into the guardrail. Man.
That's the offense, though, of Eddie Edwards. It is crash and burn. It's go big or go broke. And now Lashley can pick up the pieces.
Well, he certainly might be broken in half, Eddie Edwards.
Feast on the scraps of Eddie Edwards.
He's nearly limp out there as Eddie Edwards.
Eddie Edwards,
out cold?
yeah, he may be out right now. And Lashley can take his time. Won't take too much time, get back into the ring and pin Eddie Edwards and then celebrate a world title victory.
Eddie hasn't moved since the champ Lashley rolled him back in the ring.
Lashley will now wait and stalk and just allow Eddie Edwards to get back up. Eddie doesn't know that it's coming, and Lashley will look to deliver a spear. The same spear that he delivered to EC3 three times, and then off the second rope to retain his championship Sunday at Bound for Glory. Eddie Edwards starting to get back up. Here comes the champion. Boston Knee Party! Boston Knee Party! Boston Knee Party! And Eddie Edwards is world champion!
Eddie Edwards did it!
Eddie Edwards is now world champion!
Holy the match! And new TNA World Champion, Eddie Edwards!
And watch out from behind! There's Eddie Edwards! The loose cannon is all over Moose!
Moose's betrayal of Eddie Edwards has been among the worst things, the most heinous things I've seen in the business. Here comes Eddie.
And Eddie Edwards is incensed. It's Falls Count Anywhere here at Homecoming.
Headbutt.
Don, I know that we're all the heroes of our own story, but there's nothing that you can say to justify what Moose has done to Eddie Edwards.
No, it's brutal. He's intimidated Eddie's wife. He's tried to have Eddie locked up for 20 years. 3 strikes and you're out in this country. It's been disgusting. Moose is a stud athlete, but he's in a match tonight that isn't necessarily about athletics. It's about a street fight. It's about settling scores, and Eddie is the master at all of those.
So in this match, in Falls Count Anywhere, the advantage lies with Eddie Edwards?
In my opinion, yes.
Here comes Eddie, takes out no Moose. The big-time offensive lineman. Oh, my
God!
With reckless abandon, Moose just threw a human being. Eddie may be out. Eddie's up again, another power bomb.
This is the athletic
There's
ability.
recover, Falls Count Anywhere, and Eddie stays alive at 2.
You'll be hard-pressed to find a better athlete anywhere in wrestling than the 6'6", 300-pound Moose. starting offensive lineman in the NFL for some of the top teams in the league for 7 years, picked up wrestling like a prodigy, and now he's here at Homecoming.
Still in shock after those 2 power bombs from Moose to Eddie Edwards. On the outside, into the hardest part of the ring, and now Moose is rearranging the ring steps here. Evil in the mind of Moose tonight.
Oh, no kidding. He's come prepared. He wants to take care of business.
He's got the guardrails pulling them apart here.
Yeah, those fans better stay back of Moose. He's a sociopath. He has no conscience when it concerns getting what he wants. And now he's got a railing. Picking it up like nothing.
He's smiling right now as Moose. He's enjoying this.
When Moose was in the NFL, it was all about game planning, and Moose clearly came in here tonight with a game plan for Eddie Edwards.
And think about it, it was Eddie Edwards who attacked Moose from behind to get this match started. That game plan backfired.
Absolutely. Oh, no. No, 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 no.
Moose is trying to end the career of Eddie Edwards. Eddie counters. Desperation, perhaps. And Moose sent to the floor.
People forget Eddie Edwards is a great technical wrestler wearing what he wants to be.
Eddie clutches at his lower back as he drives Moose into the guardrail right out here in front of us. Watch one more time as Eddie dives into Moose. This rivalry, Don, each and every time they write a new chapter. They take years off each other's careers. And Moose now into the asylum, into the fans, into the chairs.
And the fans love Eddie. He's one of them. He's got all the same problems they have, Josh, but he just keeps coming. Big chop.
They're going deeper and deeper into the fans here. Eddie! I believe that was a beer can off the skull of Moose. It's getting dark back there. Can hardly see anything.
It's the stairs here going up to the upper decks.
And it seems like Moose is back in control. Hard chop from Eddie.
Oh, God! Scintillating chop by Eddie Edwards. Right hand to the forehead.
Moose is looking to retreat here.
Yeah, if you're Moose, you don't want to be up there with Eddie Edwards. Moose looks like he's trying to leave.
Eddie Edwards. Oh, boy. Eddie Edwards takes out Moose. From the balcony to the floor. And it's Anarchy Rules at Homecoming. Don, is this the kind of violence you expected in this match?
Wow, when Eddie Edwards is motivated like he is tonight, it's exactly what I expected. Right behind us. You're right behind us.
Back inside the ring. Eddie Edwards is in control. Oh, a low blow from Moose. Again, it's legal. No countouts, no disqualifications. False count anywhere.
Oh, Eddie smashing his face and his head on the railing. And now Moose, the ultimate spot picker, the ultimate front runner. He's got a lead, and he's going to run the ball, if you will. But now, what's he got in store for Eddie Edwards? Steel chairs in the ring.
What is Moose capable of? What depths is he willing to go to?
Oh, jeez.
Got obviously the referee's discretion if he wants to stop this thing, but you gotta imagine these competitors told him, don't even think about it.
Good Moose. How many chairs has Moose thrown into the ring?
A half a dozen. Moose continues to fill the ring with hardware. Eddie Edwards is down. Moose can seemingly do whatever he wants right now.
And he's busted open. Eddie is busted open. And Moose, like a shark smelling blood in the water, going right for it. Oh, God!
They were once the best of friends. Look at him now.
Yeah, Moose's athleticism, size, and power has just been too much for Eddie so far.
Moose is going up top.
It's where Moose is dangerous. Look out.
Eddie Edwards sends the steel chair off the skull of the big man.
God!
Remember, it was Moose who introduced these chairs into the ring. What's it do to you, Don, when you feel and see your own blood starting to pour down your face?
Well, it can have two effects. You can panic or it can motivate you. I have a feeling it'll be the latter with Eddie.
Eddie Edwards, he's got Moose up, looking for a superplex, into the chairs, off the top
Oh
rope!
my God! Both men hit the steel, but Moose got the worst of it. Eddie bleeding from the nose as well.
Put his own body in harm's way. Who will gain the advantage here after the superplex? Moose is talking trash right now to Eddie Edwards. This is unbelievable.
Yep. This is what Eddie wants. He wants to hurt Moose.
Oh!
Moose right now, I'm wondering what the hell do I have to do to put Eddie Edwards down?
Moose fires away, Eddie Edwards right back.
Oh. Eddie Edwards got some of the hardest chops in the business, and Moose is finding out firsthand.
Moose is gonna take off the glove as they continue to bark at each other.
Oh.
Moose with the pump kick!
Soul-crushing chop! Oh, headbutt by Moose! Headbutt to that busted open face of Eddie Edwards!
Eddie's still on his feet, and Moose!
Oh!
Through the guardrail! And if it were last man standing, perhaps this match would be over. Watch this! Eddie uses Moose's momentum! It was Moose who set that up earlier!
This is awesome! This is awesome! This is awesome!
Eddie Edwards sends his rival back into the ring.
Be the most dangerous Kenny in the wrestling business in the left hand of Eddie Edwards.
The kendo stick gifted to Eddie Edwards by Tommy Dreamer.
Bestowed upon him a passing of the hardcore torch, if you will.
And Eddie is looking to tee off on Moose.
Like a crackback in the NFL going downstairs on Moose. Oh, other leg. That's one way to cut down a 6'6" athlete. Oh.
Chopping away. Wait,
Alicia Edwards! Alicia Edwards! What's she doing here?
Eddie's
trying to
wife.
stop Eddie.
Oh!
God. Whoa! Oh my God! She's trying to stop him?
She doesn't want to see her husband do this.
She's gonna take it away from him. Oh, great! This is so great!
She's just as crazy as he is.
Of course she is! She's married to Eddie Edwards! What a lovely young lady she is, eh? That's great!
And Eddie Edwards!
Oh, broken over his head!
Looks to put Moose away here at Homecoming and put an end to this rivalry once and for all.
Jeez!
The DDT plants Moose, shoulders down, and he got him.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner, Eddie Edwards!
Ladies and gentlemen, this is your Bound for Glory main event of the evening. It is for the Impact World Championship, and it is scheduled for one fall. When the bell rings, your referee, Mr. Daniel Spencer. Introducing first in the corner to my left, he is the challenger and #1 contender. He is the leader of Honor No More. From Boston, Massachusetts, Eddie Edwards. His opponent in the corner to my right, he hails from Toronto, Ontario, Canada. He is the reigning and defending Impact World Champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
The Impact World Championship on the line here in the main event of Bound for Glory. Josh Alexander defends against Eddie Edwards. Despite the war of words between these two men with very similar paths here in Impact Wrestling, both debuted in record-breaking tag teams, moved on to become X Division champion. Both tried to use Option C to win their first world titles, certainly encountered their own roadblocks along the way. Both two-time Impact World champions, and both have had a claim to being the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling.
Two very, very similar careers, but turning into two very different people. Tom, I'm a big fan of symbology, iconography. And there's something about what the two men are even wearing. Josh Alexander draped in Bound for Glory blue, representing this company down to its very core. Meanwhile, Eddie Edwards highlighted in red the flames of war, a war he's been waging on Impact Wrestling for months and months.
The official separates the two before the count of 5. Already a little contentious between Alexander and Edwards. I can only imagine having their families at ringside, sitting so close together, what they may have stirred up in the minds of both Alexander and Edwards.
Well, for Josh Alexander, both Jen and Jet have been there every step of the way, very supportive from moment one. We've seen a lot of them here at Impact Wrestling. They feel like a part of our family, and of course, so is Alicia, but all the tension between Eddie Edwards and Alicia Edwards has made it very strange in that household. So this is a different scenario for Eddie Edwards, whereas it might give the advantage to Josh.
The one thing we saw at Victory Road in the six-man tag team matchup in which Eddie Edwards did pin Josh Alexander, the first man to do so in about a year here in Impact Wrestling. That night, Eddie Edwards hit the Die Hard Flosion. That is a move that Eddie Edwards has used, a variation of his Die Hard driver. He used it to win the Impact World Championship in 2020, and he also used it to win the GHC heavyweight title in Pro Wrestling Noah once upon a time.
I have to imagine he's looking to hit that again here tonight. If it worked before, it very well might work again.
Alexander just dumped Edwards.
And this was a catch-style wrestling contest up until that moment there. Eddie Edwards sticking in the craw of Josh Alexander and sticking his fingers in the face of the walking weapon.
Alexander firm control of the challenger, Eddie Edwards, here in our main event.
Let's not forget, Honor No More has already had a successful start to their night. Taven and Bennett retaining the Impact World Tag Team titles. Can Edwards bring home the World Championship?
Oh, and look at Edwards just throw off Alexander's game a bit.
Well, actually, it was Alexander there who countered Eddie, who was trying to counter Josh. They are getting in each other's heads. Two wrestlers at the top of their game. I believe it was Edwards who was going to try to bounce off the rope behind Alexander. Alexander saw it coming. This is a chess match if there ever was one.
Oh! Edwards gets enough of Alexander there and dumps him outside the ring. And look at Alexander climb back inside. He wants to do this the right way in the ring.
I was going to have to say, this has been a pretty solid wrestling contest so far. You had to imagine Eddie Edwards was going to want to maybe drag it down in the dirt a little bit, fight his way. But Alexander want to keep this one in the center of the canvas.
Count of 5 here on Eddie Edwards, has to the count of 10 to get back into the ring. Right now, this is Edwards just taking his time.
He's going to take his time. He's going to make this match on his time.
Count of 7. Just messing with a fan.
Hey, the leader of Honor No More, proven he can be a mastermind of any kind. Get in the head of anybody, his opponent included.
And the official was dealing with Josh Alexander in the ring and was saying, Eddie, get back into the ring.
And once again, we find ourselves in the middle of the ring. But you have to wonder, is Eddie Edwards going to want to drag this one on the outside again? Will that be the game plan of the leader of Honor No More here?
Eddie Edwards taking Alexander off his feet. Head scissor here by Alexander. Great job dropping Edwards, and once again assumes control of the left arm.
You saw there as soon as Eddie Edwards brought Josh Alexander over in that headlock takeover, immediately that kick out. Alexander is a step ahead when it comes to the wrestling game here. Got to give the walking weapon that.
Oh! And a back elbow by Eddie Edwards.
Another one collapsing Alexander into the ropes, and now Alexander finally driven to the floor.
Eddie Edwards in his 9th Bound for Glory matchup. Taking his time here in this main event.
And with the champ out on the floor, Eddie Edwards may get his wish. He may get the fight he wants.
Waiting for the right opportunity here. Oh, launches himself at Alexander.
That slingshot crossbody, and now both athletes, both wrestlers out on the floor.
Take another look here as Eddie Edwards staring down his family. Oh. Levels Josh Alexander. Oh!
An eye to Alicia and his family. She said either this ends or we do. In Eddie Edwards' mind, he has to imagine if he can accomplish this here tonight, bring that world championship to Honor No More, bring it home, that is ending this. Ending it where he wants this war to end.
Alexander tossed back inside the ring. Oh, and using the top rope to his advantage.
And the champ taking off here.
Oh, crossbody to the spine. Jen and Jet looking on. Same with Alicia and Aislinn. Watch this one more time. Boom! Classic offense from Josh Alexander.
Josh Alexander, if you ask me, had a little extra stink on that one tonight. He knows what's on the line. Throwing a little extra force behind that crossbody and every single one of these chops as well.
And you can see the difference. Alexander is waving at his family. It's a strength. Meanwhile, Eddie Edwards, it's a vulnerability. Certainly coming into this match. He's feeling that pressure. Here's the cover to retain the championship out at 1.
It's a tenuous relationship for sure. You have to admit he feels like he has something to prove to his wife, to his family. Josh Alexander doesn't have that. They have that unfettered support. Eddie Edwards has something to prove to them. But that can be just as strong a motivator.
This workman-like attitude of Josh Alexander. Oh! Countered by the nastiness of Eddie Edwards. Overhead belly to belly.
Great turnaround there from Eddie Edwards. Edwards been a champion all over the world, wants to be at the top of the mountain once again. That's where so much of this stems from. Last year, felt like he could have been the person to bring the championship back home, represent Impact Wrestling like he always had, carry that flag, carry that banner. But instead, felt like it was the walking weapon, Josh, who had been the quote-unquote anointed one, the chosen one, as it were.
Oh!
And now he gets to take out all of that frustration with the richest prize on the line.
Oh, you could see the sweat flying. Eddie Edwards taking this time, wants to make it a grueling pace for Alexander. Comes back with some forearm shivers. Alexander through the ropes. Edwards able to sidestep him on the move. Look out, Eddie Edwards flattens the champion.
Eddie took firm advantage here, flying through the ropes, putting his body on the line to take out his competitor, bring him closer to the Impact World Championship.
Champion's advantage, of course, to Josh Alexander. Title can only change hands via pinfall or submission in the ring, not via countout or disqualification. Eddie Edwards is smart. He knows to use the outside of the ring to, oh my God.
You're right, Tom. Eddie Edwards is smart. And he's pulling up this floor pad, exposing the wood underneath. It makes him a certified genius. It's not illegal. It's just exposing what's underneath, which is what Eddie Edwards has been doing for the better part of the last year, exposing the rot that is underneath in Impact Wrestling. Just ask him, he'll tell you.
Here in the Washington Avenue Armory in Albany, that is a hardwood floor. Oh my God.
Could be looking to set up.
Die-hard driver, maybe die-hard flosion here on the outside, and the official trying to get control of this situation, showing a lot of leniency here. Obviously, it is the main event of Bound for Glory, the Impact World Title on the line.
Right, we want a definitive finish to this one. We want no question marks left at the end of this.
Him and Alexander. Oh! Dives out of the ring, and that was critical.
Let's take a look at this. The walking weapon using his own body as a weapon to take out Eddie Edwards.
Putting himself in harm's way, and listen, Eddie Edwards looked like he had Josh Alexander in a really bad way on the opposite side of the ring. Alexander found a way out in a hurry.
Not often you see the walking weapon become a flying weapon, but that's what he's willing to do to hold on to the Impact World Championship. That's what he's willing to do to stand up for Impact Wrestling.
And Eddie Edwards rolls outside the ropes. Very smart. Knows that the match cannot end the position Edwards is in. The official's still trying to control Alexander and Edwards.
Edwards smart there, getting to the apron. He knows the match can't finish out here now.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Look at Alexander trying to turn this around on Edwards.
Wants to introduce Edwards to that hardwood floor in gnarly fashion.
Oh. Edwards able to fight off Alexander. Oh, precarious situation here along the apron. Oh, and Edwards down hard.
I was gonna say they're still not out of no man's land yet here on the apron.
Oh.
Swift kick to the leg of Alexander.
Oh, no, not this, not this.
Wait. You gotta be kidding me. You gotta be kidding me. Oh my God!
Die-hard driver onto the exposed hardwood floor.
Take a look again. Oh! Right onto the hardwood floor of the building here. Listen to the thud as the walking weapon crashes to the floor.
Remember, Josh Alexander has had his neck surgically repaired twice. His career nearly ended the second time. How much damage has been done to the neck of Alexander?
And Eddie Edwards knows that fact very, very well, using it to his advantage here. And even if Josh Alexander does get up from this, even if Josh Alexander does get back in the ring, how much is going to be left after that devastation?
And Eddie Edwards, at about the count of 5, rolls outside the ring, resets the 10 count, knows he's got to get Alexander back inside the ring. Has the damage been done? Is Alexander's championship reign about to end? Here's the cover and a kick out by Alexander.
Somehow, Josh Alexander stays in it, had just enough breathing time, recovery to get his shoulder up. But now, the shark smells blood.
And look at the face of Alexander. He is in pain. Oh my God, he was just trying to lift his leg. He couldn't do it.
And Eddie Edwards saw that, stopped short, and continues his assault here.
But listen, you got to think about the long-term damage that Josh Alexander may have sustained there on the outside. I mean, this is a nerve issue. He can't even lift his leg.
You're right. Josh Alexander does have to think about that. He has to think about what he's willing to do to stay in this one.
Backpack stunner goes back to the neck. Here's the cover to win the title. Kick out. Oh, what a transition.
Beautiful float over into that single leg Boston Crab from Eddie Edwards.
Can Eddie Edwards win the Impact World Championship by submission against Josh Alexander? And Alexander gets to the ropes.
He desperately needed to as well. The barrage of offense onto the neck and spine. Look at this. The backpack stunner, which led to the kick out, which immediately turns into the Boston Crab. The damage never stopping.
Compressing the spine with a backpack stunner and then immediately bending and contorting the spine there. This is a methodical, sadistic attack.
You took the words out of my mouth. The diehard driver on the floor, the stunner, the Boston Crab, all head, neck, spine. Even if Josh Alexander makes it out of this, he is going to be a changed man after this one.
Now Alexander just trying to continue on here in this matchup. Blows right by Edwards. Uh-oh, he's caught! Driven down! Powerbomb there by Edwards. Is it time for a Tiger Driver?
Not today!
Oh! A running Alabama slam! Neck first into the turnbuckle goes Edwards.
Alexander repaying the favor here. Take a look. That running extra momentum into the corner there.
The head of Eddie Edwards bounced off the top turnbuckle.
Just snapped into the corner there. Josh Alexander trying to pay back Eddie Edwards in kind for the damage done.
This is our main event tonight here in Albany, New York. It's our biggest event of the year, Bound for Glory. Eddie Edwards challenging Josh Alexander for the Impact World Championship. The war that we expected has been realized.
And it has been well fought. Hard fought so far, and it's not done yet.
Oh! Elbow right to the head and neck. German suplex.
But not letting go. The grip stays strong for the world champion.
Alexander holds on.
And so does Edwards, grabbing onto those ropes for dear life. Once again, bringing things to the outside where he knows the finish cannot happen, the decision cannot.
Onto the hardest part of the ring. Somehow Alexander held on.
Still letting go the absolute unreal tenaciousness of Josh Alexander.
Another!
In the ring, on the apron, on the floor, the walking weapon is a madman.
He's not done. He's not done.
No way.
Onto the ramp. All three here on the apron. The two crash to the floor. Alexander did not stop. On the floor on the outside. And then look at the look in the eye of Alexander. Oh, you can hear the thud as Edward crashed into the ramp.
And you saw the look in the eye of Eddie Edwards too, as he seemingly knew his fate, crashing onto the ramp. And now Alexander has found new life here.
Count of three from the official. Alexander, you can feel wants some finality. He wants to end this via pinfall or submission in the ring. Tosses Edwards inside.
With not only the championship, but perhaps the very soul, the heart and soul of Impact Wrestling on the line in the main event of Bound for Glory here. Josh Alexander turns the fight around.
Edwards trying to get back up to his feet. Alexander going to a nasty place in his mind. Knows what he has to do to put away Edwards.
Taking the fight to Edwards here. Sending the spin.
Oh!
My God!
Backbreaker to retain. Edwards is still alive.
The assault on the spine of Eddie Edwards. Take a look at this. Watch the way Eddie bends over the knee of the champion.
But somehow Edwards sticks around in this battle.
Both wrestlers have had their spines and necks battered and bruised throughout this entire war.
Oh, could it be time? Think about the C4 spike and look at Edwards drop his hips.
Smart move, you know. That's how Josh Alexander's going to want to put this one away.
Oh! Forearm shot there. Blue Thunder Bomb! Cover to win the title kick out!
Beautiful use of the momentum by Eddie Edwards here. Take a look. The Blue Thunder, dead center of the ring, but the champ stays in it.
Chance once again, and this is awesome tonight here in Albany. Edwards has exposed the knee, however. Thinking about the Boston knee party caught.
Well, Alexander, the strength of the champion on full display.
Oh boy! Styles clash!
And immediately grabbing onto the ankle of Eddie Edwards. The ankle lock is locked in. Dead center of the ring. Could this be it?
Is Edwards going to submit? Josh Alexander with the ankle lock.
A salute to Impact's past on his way to representing the future, but Eddie Edwards wiggles free of this one.
Edwards had an answer for the ankle lock. One more look here moments ago, talking about Impact Wrestling's past. One out of the book of the phenomenal one, AJ Styles, but then this shades of the Hall of Famer, Kurt Angle with the ankle lock.
Now Josh Alexander one more time finds himself struggling, climbing in from the outside of the ring to get himself back into this one.
Alexander up to the top. Whoa! And security there. That slows down Alexander. Dangerous.
Right upside the temple there, Tom. Alexander looking a little wobbly.
Oh,
That open palm across the face and neck. Good God! Echoing against the very walls of the Washington Avenue Armory here in Albany. Reverberating throughout the arena.
oh my God.
And all the way up to... You gotta be...
Held on! Edwards held on! this match won. Now Taven and Bennett, the referee's down.
Honor No More wants to ensure that this night, that this war ends in their favor, but the champion stands ever defiant of letting that happen.
Oh, it's Kenny King with a low blow.
When one door closes, another opens. With the tag champions dispatched, Kenny King struck.
And security is now trying to drive the rest of Honor No More out of here. And I believe that's the second official that I just saw.
But the question, Tom, is has the damage been done?
There is a second official in the ring now.
So this will continue. Eddie Edwards has it lined up.
Boston Knee Party. He got him. It's an Edwards moment. Oh, and a kick out. What? Alexander hangs on.
How did Josh Alexander kick out of that?
Watch this one more time. Honor No More being ushered out of the building. The second official all over this. And Alexander hangs on.
Not just a Boston Knee Party, the low blow prior to set all of that up from Kenny King. And the walking weapon lives up to his name.
Oh, now Edwards continues the assault on the world champion.
Both men battered, both men bruised, and now looking for the die-hard driver. No!
Quickly with the elbow strikes. Oh, turn Edwards inside out.
A picture-perfect half and half executed by Josh Alexander. And this deep into a contest like this, that is no easy feat. The heart and soul of Impact Wrestling on the line. The champ wants to keep the title in the home camp.
Boot right to the face, Alexander. Oh, wait a minute.
Catching the leg. Ankle lock caught up here. They're going to have to break this, but that's a great way to get some damage done.
Oh, and a knee by Edwards.
Oh, Jesus, right to the chin of Josh Alexander. And there's the Tiger Driver. That's it.
Is it time for Edwards now? A kick out by Alexander.
How is Alexander staying in this one? How?
The involvement of Honor No More. A second referee having to get involved. A low blow by Kenny King. And the continued assault of Eddie Edwards. Somehow, Josh Alexander still in it, bloodied and battered.
Now let's not forget the die-hard driver on the exposed wood floor.
Alexander literally in a pool of his own blood.
That kick earlier from Eddie Edwards must have busted the champ's nose. And it can be a dangerous thing when you start to see your own blood in a wrestling match.
Alexander back up to his feet. Oh, but for how much longer?
Josh Alexander talks about living, breathing, and quite literally bleeding Impact Wrestling. He's proving that beyond a shadow of a doubt here tonight.
Look at the eyes of Alexander. Oh.
Alexander not giving an inch to the leader of Honor No More, despite everything thrown in his direction.
Champion and challenger pulverizing each other in the main event.
The Bulls are locking horns, throwing blows back and forth here.
Clubbing blows.
Neither one of them wants to give an inch, wants to give way. Everything on the line for both of them. The message, the movement for Eddie Edwards. The championship, his existence here in Impact Wrestling for Josh Alexander.
Alexander continues to battle back. Alexander defiant in the face of Eddie Edwards, who spits into the face of the champion.
much like he's spit in the face of Impact Wrestling willingly, time and time again, and the champ is firing up and firing back!
Look at Alexander go! Hammering away on Edwards. Oh, and a quick strike to that busted nose.
Quick jab.
Oh,
but just like that!
Went for the C4 spike. Edwards rolled through, shoulders down. Alexander kicked out.
Tried to get a quick one on Alexander there, not to be.
Oh, and a clothesline. Alexander goes down.
That sickening thud across the collarbone of Josh Alexander.
Going for another Boston knee party. Cold cocked by Alexander.
Oh, and another one.
Following it up. C4 spike.
He got him. Finally.
Josh Alexander. There's the heart. There's the soul of Impact Wrestling.
Ladies and gentlemen, your winner is still Impact World Champion, the walking weapon, Josh Alexander.
Jen and Jet looking on as Alexander went through the battle of a lifetime to successfully defend his Impact World Title.
For Eddie Edwards, the war ends here. But for Josh, whoa!
You gotta be kidding me! Honor no more again!
Perhaps I spoke too soon, because this battle seemingly has just begun for Honor No More.
Wait a minute. I see Rich Swann and Heath getting involved in this.
Some reinforcements maybe, but the numbers game is still in Honor No More's favor.
Heath and Swann have backed up Alexander in the past against Honor No More. But you're right, the numbers too much.
And dispatched go Heath and Swann, and the attack returns to the Impact World Champion.
And what are Taven and Bennett doing now? Oh, no.
They're getting a table. They want to make this exclamation point. They want to make it an emphatic one.
Listen, Alexander just went through a hell of a fight with Eddie Edwards. And now Honor No More trying to dismantle the Impact World Champion.
Honor No More said this night would be theirs. But hold on. Hold on, Tom.
The winner of the Collier Shot Gauntlet match from earlier tonight, Bully Ray.
No way. Tom, if you remember Bound for Glory last year, it ended in a similar fashion. No. And not only that, there's history here.
Wait a minute, look at that smirk on Bully Ray's face. He knows every last one of these guys from Ring of Honor.
Spent a lot of time in the trenches with these boys over there. And looks like they may be clearing the path. Are we gonna see a repeat of last year? The heartbreak that Josh Alexander suffered.
Damn you, Bully Ray. Damn you. Is handing the Collier Shot Gauntlet trophy to the referee. It's Bully Ray calling his shot on the Impact World Champion.
Like Moose before him. Another year, another heartbreak for the walking weapon.
Let's get to it. Hey, dummy, ring the bell.
Wait a minute! Bully Ray and Alexander going after Honor No More.
Clearing house.
Understand that? I will be your most legitimate challenger you've ever had. Okay, Josh? You're gonna have to step your game up. I'm gonna make you step your
And we are back. This is the 2 out of 3 falls killer impact match. The first fall is to be decided by pinfall. The second fall will be decided by submission. And if necessary, the third fall by last man standing rules.
Tom, these two have been through the ringer as they start things off fast and furious here in the impact zone. You talked about how this all began with how Kazarian wanted his legacy to be left in this business. How to be a true leader in the locker room, how Eddie Edwards wasn't. It got personal with their history with Walter Kowalski, famous killer Kowalski. And then even more so as the wives of these two competitors got involved. Oh. Alicia Edwards, and of course, the soon-to-be Hall of Famer, Tracy Brooks.
Tracy Brooks will be inducted into the Impact Hall of Fame on the countdown to Bound for Glory live in Chicago. Shoulders down here. Kazarian trying to get the first fall via pinfall, of course, early. For your mind, what is the strategy here in a matchup like this? Very unique. Thumb to the eye by Edwards.
Well, the strategy in this match is to try to conserve yourself, and honestly, you do that by trying to going 2 falls up. People always try to do that in a 2 out of 3 falls match. Just if you can go 2 falls, shut them out early. So if I'm Eddie Edwards, if I'm Frankie Kazarian, I'm looking for a knockout shot in this first standard pro wrestling match.
Eddie Edwards able to shut down Kazarian. There was one comment in particular during those aforementioned interviews this past summer with Frankie Kazarian that I believe really set off Eddie Edwards. Kazarian said, quote, veterans clinging to their spot because they don't want anybody taking what they have. And that was right on the heels of Eddie Edwards and the demise of Honor No More. Eddie Edwards heard what Kazarian said and he took exception to it. As I've said, it was the insecurities of Edwards and the demise of Honor No More that led to this.
But here's the thing. You have people like Frankie Kazarian, all the respect in the world for everything he's done. He always talks about, I have never won the big one. I've never had my chance at being the world champion. You know who has? Eddie Edwards. You talk about clinging to this or whatever. That's a man right there who's done whatever work it was necessary, did whatever he had to climb to the top of the mountain, and it worked. Frankie Kazarian has to look himself in the mirror and figure out what hasn't worked.
Edwards has won 4 world titles in 3 different promotions, 2 Impact World Championships in this company, of course.
And Edwards here taking the real physical battle to Kazarian early in this one.
Battle this past summer right here on AXS TV. Trying to be teammates for a moment. That went out the window due to some miscommunication. A battle at Slammiversary where Tracy Brooks and Alicia Edwards were heavily involved. The back-to-school match and Emergence in August in Toronto. Boston Knee Party!
What'd I tell you?
Is that it? Eddie wins the first fall.
Ladies and gentlemen, the winner of the first fall, Eddie Edwards. The second fall will be fought submission only.
What'd I tell you, Tom? Look for a knockout shot early. Eddie Edwards goes 1 up. And not only that, thanks to the Boston Knee Party, he's got the advantage here.
And Frankie Kazarian has to get up to his feet before this second fall begins. Submission only. The official checking on Kazarian to make sure he can go. He says yes, and here we go. The second fall is underway. Again, you can only score the fall via submission.
But thanks to the ending of that first fall, Edwards has a great advantage here. He's got Kazarian softened up. Look at this, now he can take his time. He's got 1 in the win column. He can technically afford a loss in this second fall, but you know he's gonna wanna put this one away, 2-0.
Eddie Edwards believes he is a reality check for Frankie Kazarian. Kazarian has some extremely noble pursuits here in professional wrestling, here in Impact altogether, and Eddie Edwards doesn't believe in any of it.
Oh, it's about wins and losses, checks and championships. That's all Eddie cares about.
Here's the thing, Tom. There's a reason that the phrase "nice guys finish last" has become so popular, has become synonymous in this world. It's because, unfortunately, like it or not, it's very often true. Noble as you want to be, it doesn't get results. And the things Eddie Edwards has done to reach those mountaintops, to reach those peaks, have been very, very effective, even if not everybody has always liked him. Even Edwards' wife, Alicia Edwards, who was initially so against everything with Honor No More and everything Eddie was standing for, she even learned, she came around to it and realized she needs to stick by her ride or die.
Kazarian is down. Edwards is up 1 fall to zip. This second fall, submission only. The 2 out of 3 falls killer impact match continues. Oh, we are back to 2 out of 3 falls. Killer impact match continues. The first fall via pinfall went to Eddie Edwards. We are now in the second fall by submission only. Is how you score this fall.
But Tom, Kazarian, ever defiant here, but he's had a hard time getting back on a forward bit of momentum here ever since Eddie Edwards won that first fall with the Boston Knee Party. Now trying to build some of that momentum back in his favor.
Oh, and a huge chop there by Eddie Edwards. And a lot of people have talked about what Frankie Kazarian did in 2022. Came back, won it Bound for Glory, the X Division Championship. Oh, wait a minute, went for the chicken wing there on Edwards. Oh, he's tried that multiple times, but Kazarian pursued the Impact World Championship, and then when he returned here to Impact Wrestling full-time, he found fights worth fighting, and this has been won. This rivalry, which has spanned nearly 6 months, has come to this.
Watch this, though, Tom. Watch Frankie Kazarian's face bounce off the apron here, courtesy of Eddie Edwards. Edwards continues to maintain control here in the second fall.
A second fall to be decided by submission only. Oh! The official trying to get both men back into the ring. That's the only place where the submission can take place. Oh!
I mean, this has been pretty much all Eddie Edwards, but he does have to watch out. The one advantage, the big advantage Frankie Kazarian has here, he's an expert with that chicken wing submission. If he can lock that on to Eddie Edwards, he's got a good shot of pushing this match to a third and final fall, a last man standing match.
Oh, and look at how Frankie Kazarian, is busted open.
And Eddie Edwards very proud of his handiwork. The blood on the chest of Kazarian, just an embodiment of the bitterness of this rivalry.
My God, look at how Kazarian's chest is busted open.
And look at the way Eddie Edwards continues to wail on that chest. The blood now, it's almost like a target for Edwards.
And look at Kazarian. Kazarian trying to fend off Eddie Edwards, trying to create a little bit of space and breathing room. Oh my God, to the eyes.
And you see that hand of Eddie Edwards covered in Frankie Kazarian's blood, and then gouging him in the eyes with that. His own blood forced into his own face.
Oh my God, the blood flying here in the impact zone.
Kazarian trying desperately to stay in this matchup. Edwards is not making this easy.
Oh!
This has been all Edwards. What does Kazarian need to do to get back on the right foot in this killer impact match?
Eddie Edwards enjoying his handiwork here against Kazarian, but look at Frankie fire back.
He found a moment. Is the moment all he needs to open everything up here?
Oh, Kazarian able to land on his feet, tumbles over Eddie Edwards, and look at Kazarian. Where is he getting this from?
Take nothing away from Frankie Kazarian. There is fight to be spared in the heart of a man who helped found this brand in its very early days.
Oh, look at this. Trying to set up Eddie Edwards here. Submission attempt. Remember, the second fall can be decided by submission only. Eddie Edwards is up 1-0.
Kazarian out here relentless in trying to get this submission here. Edwards desperately trying to kick Kazarian off.
Kicks right to the head here of Frankie Kazarian by Eddie Edwards. That breaks up the submission, and Edwards stays alive. You talked about the experience of Frankie Kazarian, his chicken wing, his submission game. It's not something Eddie Edwards typically goes to.
Eddie Edwards, yeah, not typically, like you say, a submission grappler, but hey, all his experience as well. Don't think he doesn't know a hold or 6 count.
Double knees right to the face. And Eddie Edwards trying to position Frankie. Single leg Boston Crab.
Rolling right through into that crab. And now it's Kazarian on the back foot again.
Kazarian gets to the bottom rope. The official breaks up the submission.
In this whole match, though, Tom, I mean, it's been Kazarian finding little openings. But Eddie Edwards always seeming to have an answer here.
Well, now trying to set up Frankie Kazarian here in the corner. Has got a hold of Kaz. Backpack stunner.
Edwards continuing to feel confident.
Oh, wait a minute. Chicken wing. Edwards taps immediately.
The winner of the second fall, Frankie Kazarian. The third fall will now be fought under last man standing rules.
And now this third and final fall under last man standing rules. You must incapacitate your opponent so they cannot answer the referee's count of 10. The third fall is underway.
Brilliant move by Kazarian there.
Oh! Edwards goes down hard, but Ray, well, to your point, Kazarian got a quick submission there from Edwards.
I think that was a brilliant strategy of Eddie Edwards, though. He wanted to live to fight this fall. He knew he was trapped.
We're in the third and final fall. This will continue in picture-in-picture. The 2 out of 3 falls killer impact matches come to this.
This long, storied, bitter rivalry finally coming to a head in this 2 out of 3 falls killer impact match. Eddie Edwards just a moment ago was locked in the chicken wing, immediately tapping. He knew he was stuck, and he wanted to live to fight as healthy as he could in this final fall, Tom.
Yeah, Edwards won the first fall via pinfall. Kazarian in the submission-only second fall used the chicken wing and kept himself alive. Now in the third and final fall, we're under last man standing rules. The only way to win this matchup now is to incapacitate your opponent so they cannot answer the referee's count of 10.
Damn, Tom, it was in that second fall, the submission match, that Kazarian got busted open. I feel like we've been in the territory of this last man standing match, the brutality of it at least. For most of this match, courtesy of Eddie Edwards, who's brought the pain.
There are no disqualifications, of course, under last man standing rules. So the weapons have come out here in Memphis.
Kazarian looking for all kinds of tools of destruction under that ring. Chairs have already been thrown in the ring.
Eddie Edwards busted open at the skull.
Blood for blood. No better way to settle this. Incredible rivalry between two of the best in Impact history.
Oh, the trash can to the skull of Edwards.
And this crowd in Memphis, they're a little bloodthirsty themselves.
Oh!
Edwards, though, not knocked off his feet quite yet.
Edwards back up to his feet. Kazarian rushes at Edwards.
Edwards is staggered. Staggered, but still standing somehow.
And the only thing holding Edwards up is the timekeeper's table. The official checking on Edwards. I look at Kazarian. Battered and bloodied. And smashing Edwards with the steel trash can again. This 2 out of 3 falls. Killer Impact match is heading back to AXS TV. Edwards is down. The 2 out of 3 falls Killer Impact match continues with brutality. Edwards is going down. This 3rd fall contested under last man standing rules.
Kazarian is relentless. He's incensed, Tom. He's absolutely losing it on Eddie Edwards here.
Edwards won the 1st fall. Kazarian won the 2nd fall. Edwards is down. In order to win now, you must incapacitate your opponent so they cannot answer the referee's count of 10.
The referee up to a count of 4 right now.
6 for Edwards. Count of 7, and Edwards does get back up to his feet. And Kazarian, oh my God!
Kazarian just got tossed right into that ringside attendant.
One more look at this. Kazarian, the full head of steam, launched face first, to your point, into the ringside official. And down he goes. Both men are down right now. Count of 3, or this being applied to both men.
Eddie Edwards obviously saw him a chance to turn momentum around here.
Count of 5. Count of 6. Edwards is back up to his feet. Count of 7.
Edwards backing off the staff to security here from helping.
All right, now Kazarian back up to his feet. The match continues. Remember, you must incapacitate your opponent so they cannot get up before the count of 10.
And you could do anything and everything to do so. Anything goes.
Count of 4. Edwards is up. Count of 5 here on Kazarian.
Looks like Kazarian has found his feet here.
Oh!
You can't count out the heavy metal rebel. And wait, look out again!
Oh, and another overhead belly to belly.
And here's the thing. If Eddie Edwards, if he can keep this up, can keep catching Frankie Kazarian with these belly-to-belly out here on the floor, at some point, Kazarian won't be able to get back up.
Count of 5. Count of 6. Edwards back up to his feet. Count of 7 here on Kazarian. Count of 8. Kazarian gets back up to his feet before the count of 10.
But it's more and more of an effort. Each time it's more laborious. More damage here done by Eddie Edwards.
And you can hear the frustration from Eddie Edwards yelling at Kaz, just stay down.
Eddie Edwards trying to send that point home. All your honor, all your nobility. It doesn't work. Wait.
Wait a minute! Cutter! Kazarian, it's the cutter!
Where is Kazarian whose bright white tights are stained red with his own blood, is fighting for his legacy, fighting for what he believes is right in this business.
Count of 7. Edwards is back up to his feet. Oh, and Edwards falls out of the ring.
Hey, but that's all you need. You need to at least get back to your feet to break the count.
Count of 2. Kazarian's on his feet. Kazarian realizes the fight is far from over. Edwards bailed out of the ring to keep himself away from Kazarian.
Trying to get as much space as he can. There will be no quarter given here in this last man standing contest. The last fall of the Killer Impact match, and out comes the wood.
No disqualifications under last man standing rules by any means necessary at this point for Edwards and Kazarian.
But first, he's going to continue to pepper Eddie Edwards here.
Oh, right in the head!
And now Edwards down and out. Kazarian goes back to work, setting up the table here. Destruction, no doubt, on his mind.
Oh, shot to the throat there by Edwards. Oh, and Frankie into the steel steps.
Nasty landing on those steps. Take another look at this. Full head of steam from Kazarian, the hip toss onto the stairs for Kazarian, and now the count begins for Frankie.
Count of 4 here on Kazarian. Count of 5 from the official. Kazarian trying to gather himself, trying to use the steps to get back up to his feet.
Use anything you can. Breaks the count. And now, what is Edwards thinking? Is he thinking Tiger Driver out here on the stairs?
Oh my God. Hey, Kazarian.
Oh,
my God, wait a minute, what's Kazarian? Kazarian thinking about the unprettier.
Got it set up.
Face first into the steel goes Edwards.
Take a look, the unprettier on the steps. And now the count begins for Eddie Edwards.
Count of 5. Eddie Edwards and Kazarian head to the count of 10 to get back up to their feet. Count of 7. Kazarian is back up and he drags Eddie Edwards back up with him. Kazarian is not done with Edwards.
Really trying to send the message home. Put a real period on this sentence.
Oh!
And Eddie Edwards wanting to prove to Kazarian here.
Oh my God, look at the lengths Kaz is willing to go to.
Edwards this whole time has tried to prove all that respect, all that honor isn't what gets you ahead in this business. Kazarian fighting back against that point and now trying to send that message home.
Wait a minute! Oh, Alicia Edwards!
Ride or die, Tom.
And Alicia Edwards assaulting Kazarian with the kendo stick.
That's Kendra, the kendo stick.
Oh, now look at this, Eddie Edwards piling as much steel as he can into one place, going after Frankie Kazarian.
Sending this message, all your respect, all your honor. Now it's all about family for Eddie Edwards and his ride or die to get things done.
Oh my God, not this, not this. Superplex into the steel.
Take a look at this again, Tom. All the way from the top rope, crashing onto the pile of steel below. But both guys are down, Tom. Desperately trying to answer this 10 count. Eddie up.
Oh! And Eddie, you can sense the frustration here. Saw Kazarian stirring, continues the attack.
How Kazarian continues to stir like this, I have no idea. And now Edwards with another table. The twisted designs here of Eddie Edwards, moving the furniture around.
Again, going to the eyes. These two men utilizing all the space in the impact zone here in Memphis under last man standing rules. Oh, it's all legal. There's no disqualifications.
Oh, where's the honor there? Stooping down to these levels.
By any means necessary at this point in this rivalry.
Oh, wait.
Wait a minute. Wait a minute, nothing on the stage. Styles clash. From one Impact original to another. This is what Kazarian was talking about. The legacy of Impact Wrestling. The legacy of Frankie Kazarian as well in this company.
And absolutely laying out Edwards on the stage. And now Frankie Kazarian, turning his attention to Alicia Edwards here.
And Alicia Edwards, if it weren't for her, Eddie Edwards would be down and out.
Oh, come on now. I know she got involved. That's one thing. But this is too much. Yes, this is too much.
Alicia's gotten involved so many times in this rivalry. Oh, wait a minute. Wait a minute. We're trying to grab Kazarian.
Frankie, no. Put her down. Think about what you're doing, Frankie.
Kazarian's had enough of Alicia. That one was for Tracy Brooks. Just absolute carnage here at ringside, and now Kazarian trying to dive back into the ring, but there's Eddie Edwards on top of Kazarian with Edwards' wife in the rubble.
Get some help down, yes, please.
And now Edwards.
That's how bitter, how personal this has all gotten.
The official continuing his count because Kazarian's off his feet. Edwards is checking on his wife, who had no business being involved in this match in the first place.
I'll cop to that, but I think that was a step too far. That's how bitter, though, this has all gotten.
Oh, this whole thing has gone too far. It's got to end. That's why we're having this 2 out of 3 falls killer Impact match.
One way or another, it all ends here for these two.
Wait a minute. Frankie Kazarian's got a hold of Edwards. Fade to black through the table.
Good God! That's a man's skull. He just drove through that table, straight through to the floor.
But now both men are down in the rubble.
Someone's got to answer this 10 count, Tom, to win this match.
Count of 6, Kazarian, and now Edwards starting to move somehow. Count of 8. Kazarian's up. Kazarian beats respect into Edwards.
Ladies and gentlemen, here is your winner, Frankie Kazarian.
It took anything. It took everything. But I finally believe that Frankie Kazarian has closed the book on Eddie Edwards.
Something Impact's own Lance Storm would probably approve of.
Very, very much so.
So here we go for the first time ever one-on-one. Eddie Edwards versus Will Ospreay.
No surprise here. The crowd firmly in the corner of Will Ospreay. But Eddie Edwards, very, very used to that dynamic, not afraid to fight against the current. That's been much of Eddie Edwards' career here.
If you're Eddie Edwards, how do you handle this type of athlete in Will Ospreay?
Eddie Edwards, over the last several years, first, well, he can play a few mind games like that, but if Will Ospreay is a world travel talent, he's probably used to that himself. If I'm Eddie Edwards, I'm leaning into that rough and tumble side of him that he's really developed over the last few years. Hardcore matches, street fights, this may not be that match, but that style. Will Ospreay is a very polished wrestler. We know that. Aerial assassin for a reason. If I'm Eddie Edwards, I'm taking this one down to the mud.
And you heard the chants of TNA, Will Ospreay, a little playful smirk. There has been speculation as to where Will Ospreay is going to land in 2024 when he becomes a free agent. He's made it very clear a number of times that he grew up a fan of TNA, the unbreakable three-way back in 2005. AJ Styles, Christopher Daniels, and Samoa Joe made him a fan, was inspired by AJ Styles, was inspired by TNA, because remember, when WCW and ECW were purchased by WWE, the alternative years later was TNA, and TNA had a great foothold here in the United Kingdom, so young people like Will Ospreay at the time grasped TNA. They wanted an alternative.
That's what makes the return to TNA so exciting for so much young talent in the business. That generation of TNA was inspirational, was influential to so many. So to see it return, a chance to compete in a TNA ring is a high priority for many, Will Ospreay included.
Bit of an inverse of the question I asked you before. We know Ospreay is just an eye-popping athlete. He can run circles around the best of them, but wearing down die-hard Eddie Edwards is a very tall task. How does he do it?
It's not going to be
quick
easy.
Cover, kick out.
He's definitely going to have to reach into his book. He's going to have to use that aerial assassin moniker. He's going to have to use some of those moves and use them early, if you ask me, before Eddie Edwards can get a chance to, like I said, take this one down into the dirt, fight nasty, maybe take out a limb. You don't want to take out the legs or something of Will Ospreay. You don't want to give that up. Ospreay might have to meet Eddie Edwards quick and early here.
Oh, big forearm shiver. That one sent Eddie Edwards to his knee, so perhaps more of that from Ospreay. Now trying to pick up the pace. Strong kick. Edwards went after him with the clothesline. Oh, inverted atomic drop. Overhead to the belly there by Edwards.
There's a little bit of I would give a slight power advantage to Eddie Edwards there, and showing that in full display with that overhead belly to belly.
And the thing that Ospreay, I know, respects about Eddie Edwards is his success in multiple companies. He's been a world champion in 3 major companies of professional wrestling, one of which he's been a world champion, a heavyweight champion, the GHC heavyweight champion in Pro Wrestling Noah. Ospreay's on the record saying he respects that, so that Japanese style could come into play. Here's the cover and a kick out. Of course, Ospreay, a former IWGP World Heavyweight Champion.
Absolutely, that's a great point, actually. The time, the influence of that Japanese style, of their years spent, of their career over there, both Ospreay and Edwards. That could come into play here as well. Again, another way in which these two are so well matched up here tonight.
Now, Eddie Edwards in enemy territory.
Oh,
wow.
Never mind. Maybe Ospreay doesn't have the athletic advantage. Look at that. Was a beautiful cartwheel from Eddie.
Eddie Edwards enjoys being the quote-unquote away team, to use the sports analogy. He loves it.
Hell yeah, you got to use that vitriol sometimes from the crowd to fire you up.
Knee right to the midsection there by Edwards. And Edwards taking away the speed. Here's the cover. Kick out there by Ospreay. The knee right to the midsection, trying to make it difficult for Ospreay to breathe.
Slowing down the Billy Goat. And you talk about the away team feeling here. This crowd very much making sure Ospreay is known as the home team guy. And Edwards,
off the suplex, there's the cover, presses the shoulders down, kick out. Another cover here, another kick out.
Repeat
Third
it.
cover, Edwards can't put him away.
And just forcing Ospreay there to kick out, continually expend that energy. Spite turning out to be a pretty powerful weapon here for Eddie Edwards.
Crowd here in Newcastle, England, getting behind one of their own. Oh, Will Ospreay, the home turf advantage. Straight headbutt there by Eddie Edwards, however, trying to prevent any sort of rally by Ospreay.
And Ospreay trying to find openings. Eddie Edwards having answers every step of the way.
You can see Ospreay going for offense there. Edwards stayed close initially, but just that little bit of separation that helped Ospreay create offense.
That's all he needs. That's why you have to be extra careful with someone like Will Ospreay. You can't give him an inch. He will take 3 miles.
Out of respect to the UK, let's use kilometers. Now off the top rope, and a forearm off the top. Here's the cover. Oh, and Edwards able to kick out, and some respect shown there to the TNA original AJ Styles with that phenomenal forearm.
And now Ospreay maybe trying to throw a little bit of his own power game in here. I don't know if he's going for this power bomb or perhaps a tiger driver of sorts, but Eddie Edwards dropping the weight, denying Ospreay, who now takes the slug out game to Eddie Edwards.
Oh, throw first into the top rope, and now Ospreay with a boot right to the face.
And you can see Ospreay's really, he is amped to be in his home country competing here for Impact.
Oh! Leveling Edwards on the outside.
There's a different energy that you get from your home crowd, the home turf. And they're just feeding, vibing off everything in the building here in Newcastle.
Oh! A forearm blast there right to the back of the neck. Uh-oh.
Could be lining up, Edwards could be thinking hidden blade here.
Thought about exposing the elbow, going bone on bone, but Edwards rolled outside the ring, leaves the pad in place.
Wise move from Eddie Edwards. Get a little bit of room there now and then take advantage. And this is what I was alluding to earlier. Maybe take the fight to the outside here. Can help out Eddie Edwards.
Driving the small of the back of Ospreay into the apron where steel meets wood. Edwards showing a lot of disdain for the fans here in Newcastle. Ospreay some time inside the ring to regroup.
And now, well, the crowd literally rising to their feet here, trying to get into the head of Eddie Edwards.
Oh, and enziguri there by Edwards, trying to tune out the fans here in the Walker Dome, setting up Ospreay for the backpack stunner. Leans back into the cover, kick out by Ospreay.
And that's a great example of Eddie Edwards. Happy to play the bad guy for these people. Happy to be the foreign invader. Happy to be the away team, as you put it. And in doing so, shuts down Will Ospreay.
There's one thing where you're instigating a crowd and liking it, as you would know, but at some point, you can't let the crowd get in your head. And that is something that's happened to Eddie Edwards over the last few years. And you talked about Honor No More before. The fans, in the mind of Eddie Edwards, turn their backs on him. I disagree with that point, but Eddie Edwards at times has allowed the fans to bother him in matches.
I mean, that was a special time, absolutely, when Eddie Edwards wanted to be the face of this company, felt like he could be the one to defend it, to bring gold back to this company, etc. It's a story long told. But Eddie Edwards has grown, he has evolved in my mind. Has he done it enough here to topple Will Ospreay, though?
These chops to the chest. Remember, these chops drew blood against Frankie Kazarian in that famed 2 out of 3 falls killer Impact match. Ospreay aware of that, trying to stop the onslaught.
He's got caught up there with Ospreay. There's the chop he was looking for.
Oh, look at Ospreay go. Kick to the back of the neck. Not many 230-pounders that can move like that. Oh! Ospreay was calling for the Os Cutter. Edwards saw it. Stun Dog Millionaire.
Shout out to Mark Andrews of Subculture, who we saw earlier tonight. A little bit of UK brethren there, if you'd ask me. Takes down Eddie Edwards.
Both men down here. Edwards and Ospreay meeting for the first time ever this evening in the Walker Dome in Newcastle at Turning Point.
This has been pretty back and forth so far. Neither man able to maintain a firm advantage. Eddie's had some key moments of stopping the offense of Ospreay. But look out here. Oh. Bad place to be.
Oh! Little cheeky Nando's for you.
I normally love a good plate of Nando's, but I wouldn't like that if I were Eddie Edwards.
And now Will Ospreay is going to the top turnbuckle, and Edwards shuts down Ospreay.
And that's what I mean. Edwards has had a couple of key moments of shutting down important offense from Ospreay, and now has Ospreay flat out on the top rope. Could be dangerous here for the aerial assassin, who's clawing at the face of Edwards.
Oh, and a straight headbutt, and down goes Edwards.
Oh boy, now it's Edwards who's laid out, and Ospreay up top.
Edwards is down. Ospreay. Oh! Edwards able to roll out of the way. Oh, Spanish fly! Spanish fly! Cover! Oh, and a kick out by Edwards. Oh, and what a kick to the face!
The train does not stop moving.
Cutter!
Beautiful!
Cover! Edwards kicks out at 2.
Edwards, though, digging down deep, the resilience of the former Impact World Champion.
And a critical sequence there for Will Ospreay. The Spanish fly, and then the Os Cutter. Ospreay seems to be building strength.
But can he put it away here? Locking Edwards up.
Oh, was thinking about the Storm Breaker. Got him up on the shoulders. Wanted a German suplex there. Ospreay landed on his feet and a kick right to the face.
That hooking super kick of sorts. And look out, look at this, look at this!
Blue Thunder Bomb by Edwards.
Incredible counter.
Oh, went to the Boston Knee Party. Oh, and there's a hidden blade. Oh, Boston Knee Party.
Both guys down. My God, what a sequence.
Ospreay pulled out the hidden blade. Edwards gathered himself somehow and knew he had to hit the Boston Knee Party just to buy himself time, just so that Ospreay couldn't put him away.
It was just, it had to be instinct almost out of Edwards to fire off that Boston Knee Party maybe, but before he lost consciousness for a second, I don't know, he dug down real deep, as the best of the best do.
Now head-to-head, Ospreay and Edwards.
God. You talked about the bone-on-bone connection there. There it is, skull to skull. Now these two just slugging it out. Trying to push each other to their limits.
Ospreay and Edwards trying to find out how much the other can take.
Oh. And look at Ospreay just trying to psych himself up here and now punishing Edwards.
Oh.
You can see the sweat flying off of the body of Ospreay, but both guys continuing this onslaught.
Oh, what a kick, right to the cheekbone. Oh, getting him up. Think about the Stormbreaker one more time. Ooh. Clothesline by Edwards.
And follows that up immediately, the Tiger Driver.
Shoulders down, Ospreay gets the left shoulder up in time.
Just in time, though. What a fire back there from Edwards, but still not enough to put the Billy Goat down.
Oh, now wait a minute. Much like Ospreay traditionally will do with the hidden blade, pulling down the pad to expose the elbow, bone on bone. Maybe that's what Eddie Edwards is thinking about with the Boston knee party, pulling down his knee pad.
Oh. But now, yeah, softening up Ospreay a little bit. Couple of short knee strikes there first.
Oh. That kneecap right into the chest of Will Ospreay.
Ospreay could have a bruised rib, bruised sternum. As Edwards lining him up now.
Oh, he wanted a Boston knee party, decapitated by a hidden blade and a kick out by Edwards.
What the hell?
Wait a minute, look at Ospreay.
Oh no, wait, Tom. We saw this at Bound for Glory.
Styles clash. Edwards is still in it.
And there goes the elbow pad.
Hidden blade, bone on bone.
And he's not done.
Ospreay powers him up for Stormbreaker. Ospreay defeats Edwards.